Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Instant Ramen Podcast. And today, I'm your host, Trip, and with me is Kyle. We're doing his favorite episode.
It's me again, and you know what that means.
So, you're going to be reviewing what we consider to be the worst show, or just looked like the least engaging, interesting. It fell short in some area of this last season.
Just one area, absolutely.
Yeah. So, you're reviewing that, and what's the name of the show?
Oh God, I still can't pronounce it. It's Namuamidabutsu Utena.
Nailed it. So we'll get into that in like a minute. We just got back from Anime Expo 2 days ago.
Yes.
So we're like nothing's happened. There are no new updates for you guys. Traveling home went pretty good. We were bummed that we couldn't go see the Bunny movie. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. No.
Rascal does not dream of Dreaming Girl.
Yeah. My bad. So we couldn't go see that. I think there was something else that was like, I don't know, kind of interesting that day, but whatever. We missed the last day. Now maybe next year we won't miss the last day and we'll actually do some shit. So since getting back, essentially we've just reacclimated to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's nothing cool to update with. But
yeah.
Kyle, what's been going on in your life over the last 3 months?
Oh boy. Just doing the old insurance business. I don't like it, but I'm making money. So that's working. We haven't played Pathfinder in a little bit.
Yeah.
You guys have probably been updating it whenever what does end up happening.
Yeah, we do.
We'll be getting back to that soon. We still got a wedding to go to, and we're waiting until life clears a little bit, and then we'll get back started again because we're kind of almost done.
Nice.
Let's see. We still got playing D&D. We're playing tomorrow. I got to take a good long time to talk to those jokers about being indecisive and debating what they should do for too long so nothing ends up happening.
What? How's that possible? How's that happen?
I don't know, man. just 5 people just be like, what if we do this? No, it's a bad idea. We'll do this. But what if we do this? No, it's a bad idea. We'll do this. And then they repeat the same ideas.
Yeah.
It's because they're all high.
Oh, yeah. Well, what if instead you have one person appointed as the decision person? Everyone could throw out ideas, and then one guy could go like, we're doing that one. Everyone gets to say an idea. They could say, ooh, I like that idea. They could piggyback off of somebody. But like, what about that? As a solution, if they had to.
I mean, there's a potential there, but I don't know if that'll work with them.
Me either.
Other than that, just playing games with the boys. Dauntless, Satisfactory sometimes. Raft on a Blue Moon when it updates.
Hell yeah.
EDF.
The EDF.
Oh, we're the valiant infantry.
It's so stupid. I love it. Yeah, it's just it's Starship Troopers
in Japan.
In Japan, yeah. Yeah, I mean that sounds like pretty much everything I've been saying on the podcast.
Yeah.
So you're pretty caught up.
I mean, you're already watching Stranger Things season 3. I'm gonna start watching it on Thursday because I watched the first 2 seasons with my mom. Then I watched the 3rd season with my mom.
Heck yeah.
I still want to see Spider-Man. I guess I'm just going to watch the first one some other time because I want to see the new one.
Yeah.
And I already can assume what happens in the first one because I've seen Infinity War and Endgame.
He becomes Spider-Man and he beats vultures.
Oh my god. You can't beat Michael. Okay. He just beats Michael Keaton.
In a way, yeah.
Okay. I don't believe that for one fucking bit.
His suit beats Michael Keaton.
That makes more sense because only technology can beat Michael Keaton.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Good, you should be, frankly.
I'm sorry. I'm really...
Did you get the name for that show yet?
I already had it. You nailed it.
How close was I?
What did you say it was?
It was like Namuamidabutsu something Utena.
Yeah, it's Namuamidabutsu Utena.
Yep.
Duh.
Yep. How could I have gotten it wrong?
You didn't. That's what I said. Yeah, so we don't have a whole lot of anime news because it's been like 2 days. I miss Anime Expo a little bit. It's nice being home. It's nice being in bed.
I don't miss Anime Expo because I got my fill of that. I miss adventures.
Okay, what's the difference? Because to me, it's like pretty much the same. Like, you got to figure out where you're going. You got to just go and do some weird shit.
Well,
and then you sit down at a panel, you learn some weird stuff, and then you disappear into the world, and you're like, where the fuck are the food trucks? We'll find them.
It's no secret that one of my top 2 favorite parts of going anywhere is eating.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's like, absolutely.
So like trying a new food truck every day and, going to, the ramen and curry is always great. We always go there because it's great.
Hell yeah.
But going to that Japanese restaurant we never went to
it was
before.
So good. And Sho could have shut it down if he wanted to, but he didn't. He didn't shut the club down.
No, he didn't. He didn't arrest anybody.
No way.
And then that breakfast was hella good.
Yeah, that breakfast was hella good. I was having a hard time finding like breakfast in the area because the easiest thing is just go down and get like the shittiest breakfast from the hotel breakfast place. But I found somewhere that was like a block away, so I just ordered it and went and picked us up food in the morning, and I had to walk by like a bunch of sketchy people, and all the walking down this particular block, all of the shop fronts were like covered with old ass postage and signs from 12 years ago, and it looked like nobody had even been by there until I got to the restaurant. It had like 5 tables in it, and it looked really nice. It was so weird. Yeah, I'm just like, ooh, we'll see. We will see. It was chill. And yeah, I had a delicious giant breakfast burrito, and you had some fucking crazy French toast.
French toast that instead of fried it or cooked or whatever in an egg wash was cooked in a creme brulee like mix. So
no big deal.
It comes with fucking syrup. I didn't even touch the syrup. It was so sweet on its own. And the butter was like lemon zest butter.
Nice.
If you're not a sweet breakfast person, I get it. Which I'm not sometimes, but this time I was.
I like it, but honestly, it's hard because I always want something savory. I'm like, I like the sweet stuff, but I honestly only want like a quarter of the amount that they give me.
Yeah.
That's my issue.
So to cap off my adventure point was Anime Expo is really fun. But as you know, there's not like any event that I look forward to. I just hang out with you guys and have a fun time. And, I see I saw Promare and Penguin Ohio and had a fucking blast.
And Crunchyroll Connect.
Oh, yeah.
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 I was actually today, I was trying to remember what I did specific, like other than the panels, I was trying to remember what premieres. And I'm like, well, I saw the Pokemon movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back Returns or whatever the fuck, Evolution 2, DDR.
Mega Evolution.
And then I was like, okay, I went to a theater or two, and I don't remember what I saw because they were busy in that time. I don't know.
Sound Euphonium?
Yeah, no, so clearly I remembered Sound Euphonium, and I remembered Promare, and I forgot about Penguin Highway, which was fucking awesome. So 3 great movies, 1 not so great movie, and a premiere that was surprisingly in English, so whatever.
As you know, I'm an introvert and I do really like living alone. But having like that weekend, or I guess Wednesday to a weekend of go to bed.
Just nonstop boys?
Yeah, you're with your boys. Wake up, there's your boys. All day, boys.
Just boys, boys.
Everywhere you go to eat, boys. When you go to sit down, boys. When you're walking around, you got your boys.
Yeah. And then we would call each other as we're falling asleep. And we're like, hey, man, how's the other room? I'm kind of scared in here.
Yeah, I'm all by myself, and Sho's standing there in the corner, and he hasn't left yet.
Man, this place is just covered with moths. What's going on? There are like 170 moths in here.
There's like several guys in the opposing office building flashing gang signs at me. That's what I like about it.
I really enjoy trips like that a lot. It's a lot of fun because I don't want that all the time, but like I really like that. And honestly, I love that Sierra works earlier than me because in the morning, I'm like never down for a hang sesh. But we have opposite enough schedules that it winds up working out. So then when we have these times where we can all get together first thing and then go to bed same time. Like everything works out.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something that's so fun about that, knowing that it's only for a little bit of time. So we better appreciate it, because if you don't, then you're just going to be whiny the whole time. I don't know.
And another thing to think about is perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine trying to find a group of 3 other people that you could go on a trip with from Wednesday to Sunday and not really at any point be annoyed with them,
and then play games with them later that night and the next day, and then hang out and podcast. Like, how's that work out, right?
Yeah, like that's crazy. Like at that
wild.
point I'd be like, I don't want to see those 3 for a while, but I'm just like, hey guys, don't chill.
Yeah, like what are we doing? We hanging? We doing a sesh? All right, cool. Yeah,
That's what I like.
So
I like you guys.
hey, I like you guys too. So let's talk about just overall impressions. You've been to several anime expos, or a few, or whatever the fuck now. How did you feel about this one overall? Because Juan and I were clearly too tired to do our closing statements on AX. Mm-hmm. So we'll just kind of do what happened to AX, that we enjoyed the most, disliked the most, and like how it compared to other years. And then I think we'll jump into like the 2 pieces of news that I have, and then do some shit time. Okay. Shit time with the shit boys.
I really, really liked having a press pass.
Oh, dude, it's so helpful. Like, because you fucked around with the premiere pass last year.
I pretty much just passed it off, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you fucked around with it, but like it wasn't for real. Having a press pass changes everything. I mean, because we also did some trading and whatnot last year, so there were definitely times where it's like, well, I'm down to camp out for a couple hours here, and I'll meet up with you guys. And we've had tons of, like, I've been to Comic-Con, I've been to Anime Expo. You just have to wait in line so long, for such long periods of time, that, like...
And you may not even get in.
No. And we would bring phone games, and we would bring fucking anything. Like, we would read books, just anything to keep us occupied, because when you're moving that much, you're too tired to talk to somebody, especially as, like, introverts like we are. Fortunately, with this, having the press passes, we're essentially just hanging out for a few minutes and then not talking for a long period of time and whispering every once in a while. And then we're hanging out for a few minutes again. And it's a different process than, all right, we're going to sit here for 3 hours and we got to figure out what to talk about for 3 hours.
Yeah, it's...
Sometimes it's hard.
Like, even, like, the best way was, like, the Mega 64 panel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we made the little mistake of where it was going to be, and we're like, oh shit, it's about to start, so we got to go to the Marriott. And we go to the Marriott, and the line was like 3 or 4 width already.
Yeah,
shit, that's a lot of people. And we're like, oh, and they're already kind of letting people in. We're like, oh man, what are we gonna do? And you're like, hey, is there a press line? She's like, just go in. Like,
all right, cool, thank you.
Okay,
I love that.
That was the best part, because again, I have the least amount of stakes in this. Like, I just go to have a fun time.
Yeah.
And so, you know, a 3-hour wait for, like, an industry panel, if that were, like, if the lines were that big for things, that'd super bum me out.
Yeah, man, me too. I mean, honestly, as far as industry panels and stuff go, in the past, before doing this, like, whole podcast thing, never once was I interested in doing that, other than I'll check it out because that line's kind of short, and I'll ask somebody, hey, what's this line for? And I'll hop in there. And I know it's going to be soon or whatever. And I've had a good time at them before I did the podcast, but after doing the podcast, being like, okay, know about that. Ooh, that's new. Okay, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's never something that's like, oh shit, like this past year. That's what I feel like I was kind of upset about, is that nothing was like, oh shit, this is gonna be crazy, we gotta check this shit out. It was just like, Penguin Highway, cool, I've wanted to see this movie for a while. We went and saw it. Oh, that was a good movie. All right. Premiere, that was really fun. I knew it was gonna be fun, but there was nothing that was like, didn't know about it and it surprised me, which I feel like
that's not entirely true.
Huh?
Fucking Frag Time got you real good.
Frag Time?
That surprised you real good.
Well, I wasn't talking about premiere. I just mean, like, events and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you guys got to see Crunchyroll Connect.
Yeah, that was cool.
Which was, nobody knew shit about it. You guys got a really cool experience with that, knowing about what it was, how it started, and that it's going to continue on. That's like a very unique thing, but it's nothing that's like, holy shit, this is going to blow my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, whenever they announced another season of some show or another, like, people freak out about that stuff, but there were no crazy announcements like that this year. So I think that's probably my biggest, like, bummer thing, is that nothing was crazy to me.
For me, it's just the convention is, what's the word? Infrastructurally different every single time.
Yeah.
Like whoever's just every single person you ask for help with something is like had a completely different briefing as to what's going on as to the person standing directly next to them.
I noticed that less this year, but I think that's because I spent less time in lines, so I didn't get to be around them too much. But you'll hear like because they're all volunteers that are leading people. Mm-hmm. They start having a conversation with their coworker, and they're like, "Oh, I heard this thing," and it's just constant miscommunication.
Yeah, like you walk up to one person and be like, "Hey, I got a press pass. What do I do with this?" Like, line up right next to the door, you saucy sailor. You're not cool. And you walk up to the next guy, and you're like, "Hey, is there? I'm like press. Is there?" And he like turns to you, and he's like, "Press killed my entire family. You will get to the back of the normal line, and you're gonna stand there. And when the line moves up, you are not moving with them."
Yeah, man, that's just how it goes sometimes. You know, just got to find the right person that enjoys who you are.
Also, the people
are a little bit rough.
It's just.
I mean, you know, I had a rough experience with a couple of people. I'm still so confused about that woman that held the door closed
we'll never
on
know.
me. What was she thinking?
If you're listening, why?
Just why?
Not the situation, just in relation to you. Why?
Why? I've also, thanks to fucking Anime Expo, I've been playing Magia Record a little bit more.
Dude, you've been blasting that.
It's fun. It's fully voice acted. It's a spin-off story for Medaka Magica. It's kind of cool. It's just it's a simple strategy game, but it's not like, it doesn't blow my mind with the gameplay or anything. I just kind of like it because it's all Madoka themed, and it's fine.
We all know there's only one phone game that blows minds.
What's that?
Kitten's Game.
Ugh, it's Kitten's Game again.
No phone game has been like, oh shit.
Kitten's Game? I went hard on that, man. And I wouldn't even consider it a phone game because you could also play it.
Way of life.
You could also play it in your browser and stuff. And fuck, man, it's so good. It's just so good.
Again, anyone who's listening, just go on your phone and download Kitten's Game and just do it. Don't ask questions. Don't look anything up. Just do it.
Until you get far into it, and then you
gotta look.
Yeah, you look a lot of stuff,
but you gotta get into it first.
Great shit. Anyways, I'm gonna tell you about some new stuff, and you tell me how you feel about it.
Okay.
Konosuba movie is gonna come to the Crunchyroll. That's pretty exciting for a lot of people that are a fan of the show. I'm assuming that there's somebody that's a fan of the show that's like, fuck, man, the movie Crunchyroll, I don't trust Crunchyroll for this or some bullshit like that. But like, this is pretty big news for most people that are a fan. Now if
because all of my knowledge of Konosuba comes specifically from memes, there's only 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
And is this a continuation, an OVA?
This is a continuation, and there are OVAs coming to Crunchyroll as well.
Okay. Well, good job, people that like Konosuba.
Yeah, man. Because it's not just like, it's like, Konosuba is based off of light novels.
Yes.
So they're like, oh, this is going to be this portion or whatever.
Y'all know
that's essentially what the movie is. It's just like, oh, it's going to do this thing. So it's not going to be a bungo situation is what I'm trying to say. So get stoked, Konosuba boys.
Good job, guys. I don't really like the show, but also I've never seen it. I'm just judging based off of my preconceived notions of it.
Yeah.
Like an asshole.
Yeah. Speaking about things that you know about but don't like enjoy yet. So hold on, and fans.
Let's do that. Do the segue again. Try a better segue.
Speaking of go fuck yourself.
Thank you.
JoJo Part 6 depends on all of the fans supporting the show and in supporting Part 5. So they will make Part 6 if part 5 is well supported enough.
Patreon.
Yeah, essentially start a Patreon, get it going. So some people didn't know about that. So just in case you're a fan of JoJo, make sure to support it in whatever financial way you can, because they don't just mean watching it.
Because that doesn't help.
They do want to make a part 6, but they essentially need the sales to do well. Otherwise, it's not going to be profitable and they won't be able to make a part 6. So heads up for all you JoJo fans, especially since people don't like the JoJo dubs, subs, because the subs are just censored or wrong or fucked up in some way or another, or you can't get the most authentic version. I don't know how it fares for this most recent season, but that's how it has been in the past. So a lot of people just download it on Pirate Bay or whatever the fuck people use these days.
Huh.
Yeah. So anyways, support it financially if you want a part 6. Then you could pirate it and then you could buy whatever, but you don't have to watch it. You could still pirate the stuff that you like.
Yeah.
Just pay for it too.
Buy it and then delete the file and then download the good one.
Perfect. So speaking of JoJo, the production for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Golden Wind anime adaptation is now officially finished. So they're actually working on stuff. In case anybody was like, I don't really know, because it's coming and it's gone and all that. You know? You don't know.
I don't.
That's fine. I don't have any more news, honestly. There's nothing else going on.
Day.
We already talked about a ton of stuff. Yeah, man, I don't know. Anime is fucking anime. I don't know how you're gonna do telling me about this new show. I'm kind of worried about it. Or this old show.
You're worried, huh?
Man, I don't know. Anyways, so the name of the show is... Oh, fuck. I'm going to try to say it all. It should be fine. Fuck, I already messed up. Namuamidabutsu. Namuamidabutsu Rendai Utena. Or just Namuamidabutsu Utena. Anyways, it's made by Asahi Production. And as we all know, Asahi Production does really good stuff like Medaka Backs and Shumatsu no Izetta. Actually, people do know that one. It's Izetta the Last Witch. It just, for whatever reason, didn't show up in English for me. So there are some things that people actually do know. For the most part, this is an unknown studio. I'm pretty sure people don't know about it. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never heard of Medaka Box.
It was also co-made by DM Games or DMM Pictures or something.
Yeah. DMM Pictures was the producer. Yeah, there are all these different people behind anime, but I don't know who was behind this one. Who decided it should be a real thing? Because the first episode, my impressions of it were, okay, so we have a bunch of guys, so we're not going to remember any of their names for most of the show, and then we're finally going to remember them, and it won't matter at that point because we'll already have dropped off of the show. And then we were like, oh, there's cool goopy things. They look cool. Potential to be fun. Nah, wound up being shit. And then everyone turns into people that they aren't. Some little boys, some big ripped men, and everything in between. And then a guy is suddenly freezing time or some shit on top of a roof. He looks down at them, and then he floats away. He just floats away with the most egregious animation.
Yes.
It was amazing. And you got to watch this show because honestly, there were so many boys and there was some action and it didn't look like it was going to be a sexy show. So we always like to give you a break from those because honestly, I feel like it's cheating because the stories in some sexy shows are good, but the sexy parts of it just make it so but why?
Mm-hmm. So, well, I'll get started. I'll give it a better name. So today on Kyle's big ass pile of rusty nails for your senses anime show.
Okay.
We have Big Boys Buddha Beatdown. So the summary of it is it's about two deities who protect the path of Dharma to Kakatsu and Bonsu, something like that. Tough looking handsome boy and pretty looking sexy boy.
Yeah.
They protect the world from earthly vices, which are the blobs. So it's like
those are the blobs.
being worried or selfish or aggravated or
gay.
Stressed out. Okay.
That wasn't in there?
No.
I don't know. I feel like being gay is kind of an earthly vice. Like, if you have any sexual desires,
You
that's
get
like,
real goopy, so that makes sense.
Yeah, you get gooped up if you being a sexy boy.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So they go to this temple. They come back to the earthly realm, and they go to this temple where the 13 Buddha live.
Oh.
And that's who all the boys are, is all the Buddha.
Buddha.
And you won't remember any of them. You got a short one that likes to fight and uses the word bust in every single sentence. Like when he wants to eat, he's going to bust into the food. If he's going to fight someone, he's going to bust him in. If he wants to go somewhere, he's going to bust there real quick. He busting makes him feel good.
Busting makes me feel good.
And there's twins who are like brothers or best friends or something. There's one that just looks like a girl but isn't. There's like the little kid one. There's the one that doesn't sleep. There's the one with the glasses and he's good at computers. And then there's the one who knows the most about tweeting things.
That's always an important one for the group,
He's
right?
the Buddha that knows the most about the earthly realm. So he knows like what's trending and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's the first 6 episodes is just them. It's like kind of like getting to know the characters, but you only get to know half of them. And you're like, so this is how the show's going to go. You're just going to get to know all of them over the course of the...
Yeah.
So the point of the show is that Mara, the deity that creates earthly vices, is trying to consume the world in earthly vices, but you don't know this till like episode 9.
Don't do that though. I like my vices.
And this 13 Buddha and the 2 deities of protecting the Dharma have to stop that, but they spend the first 6 episodes just like fucking around, like going to old folks' home to learn about being an old person, or like, I'm not kidding. One of the episodes they just go there.
I wonder what an old people is. That's fucking great.
It's just like really boring. Like they just do boring things.
Be
like,
nice.
It's like one of those like pleasant. It's like cute anime girls do nothing shows, but it's fully grown dudes, and they don't. And there's no funny writing.
Be nice.
And they're not cute.
Be nice.
And then episode 7 hits, where the whole time you talked about the guy that froze time and then floated away.
Yeah,
that's Ashura.
Yeah, that's my favorite character.
He's the third deity. And he was friends with handsome guy, but they hate each other now, and you don't know why. So in episode 7, they fight each other, and he's like, "Why are you being so bad?" And Ashura's like, I'll never forgive you." Then we do a flashback, long ass time ago in like ancient Japan or India. The show like takes place in Japan, but it sure is about Hinduism.
Yeah, that's good.
And goes way back in time when cool handsome guy and Ashura are best friends, and all they do is go around and slay vices.
Yeah,
and they think they're really cool. They come to a village that's like just in the shithole. The food doesn't grow, the animals are dying, people are sick, and the town has fallen to crime for survival.
Oof.
Except there's this one little girl who every day waters all the plants, feeds all the animals, gives food to all the people. She's the only hard worker in the entire town. She's doing the best she can.
All right.
And the 2 deities are like, "Wow, you sure are cool. Let's be friends." They obviously don't look like you're looking at them. They are disguised, but it doesn't show you what their disguise is. So they're just like wearing crazy robes with armor and shirts open and shit. And they're just hanging out, and they're helping her do stuff like carrying the water for her. Like, "You're such a hard worker." And she goes home, and you find out that her dad beats the shit out of her.
Oh, whoa.
And I was like, wait, hold on. We're not at that tone of the show.
I don't know, man. We're at that tone.
And they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's the worst. He's terrible." And Ashura's like, "I'm gonna kill him." And they're like, "No, we can't do that." So he tries to convince the girl to leave the town and come and go to a better town with them, because she wants to be a dancer when she grows up.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's like, "Okay, maybe." And then at the same time, the lead Buddha and the pretty deity guy show up, and they're like, "We are gonna do it without hurting anybody," and they have a conflict about that.
Of course.
So one night, handsome guy's like, "No, don't go kill the dad," or whatever. He's like, "I'm gonna do it." He's like, "Don't kill the dad. I think he's gonna turn around. He's trying his best." He's like, "Okay, I'll wait till tomorrow." They go into town tomorrow, and there's like 5 dead people on the ground. And you're like, what? Turns out, girl went home that night. Dad was like, "Hey, those 2 guys you're always hanging out with, steal from them.
What?
And then we'll leave town."
No.
And she's like, "I don't want to. They're my friends." And so he ties her up and starts cutting all her hair off, which then she gets possessed by an earthly vice, kills her dad, and then kills like half the people in town. And then they're like, "Oh my gosh, no, what happened to you, small girl?"
And she just said abuse.
Well, she's a monster at that point.
Yeah, so she just says abuse.
And so they slay the vice and save her. And then for some reason, 2 of the remaining villagers shoot her with arrows in the face, and she lights on fire and dies. And then Ashura's like, "No, she's killed humans. That means she's going to burn in the fires of hell forever. I'll never forgive you for making me wait one more night, handsome guy." And that's the 7th episode. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
I was like, is this show going to turn around? Nope.
No.
We go right back into the dumb, like, hanging out with the boys, episode 8.
So they were just like, you know what? Let's just flex on them a little bit. Let's just flex on our viewers.
They flex really hard.
Let's flex on the fans. And you're like, oh my god, okay.
And then, like, the second plot line is one of the Buddha left the temple, and they've been trying to find him because he's really powerful. And they find him, and he left because it turns out he got tricked into losing his halo. Your halo is your, like, your, like, power. So, like, short, bust kid, his halo is all about fire.
Okay.
So they find purple hair, eye makeup guy, and his halo got broken by Mara. He got tricked, and so he's like, "I've just been trying to find my halo. That's why I left." And so he's useless for like 4 episodes, like kind of like a joke character, like, "I'm going to be brave today," but then he can't do anything. He runs away screaming, and they have to save him. Yeah, so then Mara comes down to Earth and is like, "Sure, I tricked you because I back then when the girl went to hell, I promised if I got enough power, I'd bring the girl back from hell, and that's why you became a bad guy. So you're like an anti-hero."
Whoa.
He's like, "You tricked me," and he possesses Ashura to become an earthly vice also.
Oh.
And they fight, and all the Buddha are on Earth fighting a bunch of earthly vices, while 2 deity guys are fighting possessed Ashura, and main Buddha's being attacked by Moran and losing. And they do the big boy move where the 2 deities are like, "Because we're all bros, we're going to fight. We're not going to kill you. We're going to absorb your vices with you."
I see. They're pulling an avatar.
Exactly. They pulled an avatar, and you're like, oh, they lost. Well, friendship. And then they poop out of it and beat Mara, and then there's just another full episode of like, "Let's go back to the temple, be bros, and play cards."
Yeah, man.
It was entirely uninteresting. Completely, I don't know any of the characters' names other than Mara and Ashura, the 2 bad guys.
Okay. Yeah.
The voice acting was whatever. None of the dudes were even hot.
What?
Like, it's supposed to be like one of those, like,
supposed to be a hot dude show.
It's supposed to be a hot dude show, and none of them were hot.
What the fuck? But what's the point of a hot dude show if the dudes aren't hot?
None of it was funny. It tried to be funny a lot. I think there was one part that made me smirk because one of the Buddha talks. He's just always trying to come up with puns. Mm-hmm. And I don't even remember what the pun was, but he like threw Buddha in the middle of a word, and I was like, nice. But it wasn't funny. The writing
honestly
wasn't good.
that's shout outs to the translators, if anything.
Yeah, it wasn't even like none of the animation was really even good.
So these like big fights and stuff, they didn't like.
Oh my god!
You couldn't tell where their budget went.
I think they reused the same shot about 6 or 7 times when handsome guy pulled when.
Well, that's where their budget went, to that one shot. They were like, "It's so good. Just keep using it."
Whenever handsome deity pulls out his laser sword, it floats out of his like coat over into his right hand.
Well, yeah.
And he grips it, and then the laser part comes out. I think they used that same shot like 5 or 6 times every time he pulled it out.
Go for it, man.
And it was,
Digimon could do it. Why can't we?
It was really cool because when in the last battle he fights, there's a double laser sword.
Whoa. Yeah. That's like Darth Maul.
Yeah. It was really funny because when they're all going to fight the Earthly Vices, they all have like a bunch of weapons. Like one of them's like, it's like a sword with just like 18,000 hooks on it. And I was like, that's kind of fucked up. And then when they actually...
I don't know, a hook sword sounds really fucking cool.
And then when they all fight, none of them have weapons. They just like put their palms on the ground and the blobs explode, or they put their hands in the air and like light just comes out. So they don't even have anything.
Oh, that sucks.
It was so pointless.
Okay.
Honestly, the only thing keeping it out of like the bottom 2 is it was a good episode 7.
Yeah, okay. So they had story for like a second, and you were like, yeah, that knocks you up a bit.
Yeah. Like I was almost pregnant from that one.
Dang. So your experience watching this, you pretty much binged it.
Yeah, which was a huge mistake. This one
was a stretch out kind of show.
I watched episode 4 through 12 last night, and it was just horrific.
Yeah. Yeah, I could imagine that.
Because I was paying attention to it. Mm-hmm. I didn't like put it on my phone and like play video games.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be a speed watching N-word. Shoutouts to you, buddy. Shoutouts to you, Big Papa.
Whatever 4chan user there is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I just watched the whole thing and I was like, this was terrible. A random and niche prop. The cool guitar riff in the intro reminded me a lot of the Dynasty Warriors 3 soundtrack.
Okay.
So that was neat.
All right, that's always cool.
Yeah.
So that was probably the highlight. And then...
Yeah. Absolutely.
What was the worst part?
I think the voice acting. Like most of...
You said it was okay.
No, I said it wasn't very good.
Well...
Like most of the characters' voices were like high-pitched, annoying Japanese guy.
Okay.
Like the 2 deities, Ashura, and like one of the other Buddha had like lower voices, but they were all like, you're just like, oh god, this is really grating on me.
That's rough, man. Those is rough times.
And there's like an annoying bird. I don't know if that was in the first episode. There's like a little firebird guy.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, there totally was. They nailed that too. They were like, okay, what do anime lovers like? First off, boys, definitely boys. Fights, there's gotta be powers. They like, Japanese culture, so Buddhas, let's fucking throw that shit in there. How about we go for typical anime and just throw in one of those random ass animals that doesn't really need to be here, but it is.
It felt like another one of those culture circle jerk animes. I don't think we've ever talked about this on the podcast.
No, we haven't really.
Where there's like that anime where they're just like, hey, Edo period, Meiji period, this kind of shogun, and people are supposed to be like, oh, Japanese culture, I know that history. Oh, holy shit. We're like, hey guys, Mara, Ashura, the 13 Buddha, and you're like, oh fuck, I know all about Hinduism. I read it on the daily. This is my anime. It felt like one of those animes.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
It also felt like a show that's following up a fighting video game,
which is what it is, right?
I tried to find it. I couldn't find a game.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's based off of a game. But it's just like
feels like it is.
Choose your fighter, either the 13 Buddha, Ashura, these 2 deities, or Mara. Because that's what all the characters were designed like.
Or this evil 7th episode girl.
She would have been the best character.
Yeah, hell yeah. Okay, so I guess since you've experienced a decent amount of what we consider to be shit anime, the whole purpose of you having this segment was so that we could figure out who these shows are for. That's why we started it.
And then every time I go, I don't know who this is for.
So this time, who is this for? Just those very specific people that know all their Hinduism shit?
This is for people who know this is probably like first grade Hinduism stuff. Yeah. Anybody who knows anything about Hinduism, so not me. Anybody that knows anything about Hinduism probably. if you're the kind of person that likes shows that just kind of have like pretty dudes,
skip this one. It's not for you.
I mean, I'm not the best guesser of what dudes are pretty and not.
Listen, man, I think that you know which dudes are pretty.
If I'm going to be attracted to an anime character that's a dude, he's going to have like stubble or like a beard or like look kind of manly.
Yeah.
But like I can't, like the just like.
So you don't get the pretty boy thing?
No.
What?
It's not my thing.
Oh, man, you got to understand every side, man. I mean, I get that it's not your thing, but you should be able to be like, that is objectively what weebs want.
Yeah, see, I don't know about that, but I think there's that. Maybe for people who, I suppose, understand the language of Japanese, so can put that off to the side and listen to it, because obviously not everyone can just listen to it.
Yeah.
It's just really unengaging. So it can't be for someone that wants to sit down and binge 12 episodes of this and be like, yeah.
Rough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, thanks for watching that fucking garbage. Where do you rank it amongst everything? You said it's not in the bottom 2.
I think I gotta put it above. I mean, I've obviously forgotten my own rankings.
Yeah.
Because why would I remember that?
Okay, so it's better than...
It's better than GD Men's Party, because
Okay.
everything's better than that.
Sure, that's bottom tier.
And then it's also better than Kami Kisura or whatever, the thing that people were actually upset at me that I didn't like.
Yeah, Kimi Kurusa, I think.
Yeah, better than that too. But it's like on the same level because at least it wasn't 3D, but it was also way too long.
Yeah, because they just didn't have a goal.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, there wasn't, because like at least the other show had like a story.
Yeah.
This was just like, what?
And then above that, Yuki Yuna.
Was that
the hot springs?
Wasn't that? Yeah.
And then
I mean, that one had some nice bops in it, so, you know, whatever.
But we had Eromanga Sensei. Or no, you didn't watch that one. A Sister's All You Need.
That one, that's like number 4.
And what else?
There was there's the really short one, the Love to Lie Angle.
Oh,
but that one was really short, so I can accept it because it was like 4 minutes long.
Sure, yeah.
And then... Wait, there's Sister All You Need, and then My Sister, My Writer. Sister's All You Need is near the top, actually.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
My Sister, My Writer is like
low.
4.
Okay.
I think that's all of them.
I think that's all of them for now.
I'm getting lost in them.
Yeah, well, because you pick up other shows, too, that you're like, I don't know.
And I didn't watch any side trash this season.
No, you didn't. It just wasn't a good time for that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a good time for that.
Too many things that you want to experience.
Yeah.
Like violence.
Yeah. Again, just like every time, I encourage any active listeners to tell me if you liked it, why you liked it, if you watched it and you didn't like it, why I'm dumb for not liking it. Just, let me know and I'll make a comment on it like 3 or 4 months from now.
You could only watch this show on High Dive, so nobody's going to comment and say anything about it, because on High Dive, people have High Dive, so they can watch very specific things, and this is just one of those things that's not specific enough. It's just so like, why?
Yeah,
what?
See, I was issuing an empty challenge. Of course nobody watched it. Y'all can't say shit.
Everyone called Kyle the N-word just like that last time, but because...
That's what I aspire to. Just have people hate me for not liking a show that's bad.
It was a big moment. Your mom, she was pretty stoked about that too.
Yeah, even
right?
my mom thought it was cool.
Yeah. She's like, whoa, my son. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I guess you don't have anything else to say about the show, right?
Nope.
Sweet. We're doing another short episode today because we just like shotgun fired a bunch that were at least like an hour long. So thank you guys so much for listening to us. Next week, we're going to go ahead and talk about the season wrap up of anime, because by that point, we should have like a couple episodes of the new season of anime that we'll be able to talk about the following week. And then there's so much stuff that's gonna happen in the future, so we'll figure something else out. Anyways, if you like our logo, you could go and check out turvytops.com. She does some amazing work, so hit her up if you need anything done. Also, Our theme song is done by my good friend Tom Nasser, who's going to be visiting town for a little bit this month. I'm pretty excited about him coming by. You can check him out on SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook. Look up Tom Nasser, Nasr. And you can find us on Facebook. Look up the Instant Ramen Podcast. Same thing goes for Instagram. You could also look us up on Twitter. Just tweet at Instant Ramen Pod. And you can go ahead and send us an email, instantramenpodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, tell us what you thought about what was the worst show this season. What do you think? I don't know. Like, who are these shows for? Is there somebody specific that you know that likes some weird ass anime that nobody else likes? And it's like, all right, man, cool. That's just your thing. Because those are the kind of people that I'm really interested in. I know that there are people out there that like these pretty boy shows, and I'm like, I kind of get that. But also, what makes a pretty boy show good? Tell me what makes a pretty boy show good, because I will stand by Host Club like all the time. Oran High School Host Club is great. Anyways, this is bye from Chris.
This is bye for a few months from Kyle.
And Kyle, don't forget,
steamed milk?
Steamed milk. All right, see you guys.